Not full ones. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. I'm Tiffany. This is my quilting life, where I share my life with you. Everything to do with quilting. Today's Sunday. So Sunday where I'm totally spaced rolling a couple bobbins real quick. Well, partial bobbins. I don't need full bobbins because these aren't big projects, but I totally spaced doing that before the live. So I figured, well, I'll start right before the live and then you can catch me actually working before the live. So that's what I'm doing, is rolling a couple bobbins. So let's see who is all here. Oh, come on. I can't see who's all here until it's working, obviously.
You want to use the computer?
No, it's fine. It's just not. I think I went way over with that one. I'll use this color first anyway. Okay, come on. Hello, what are you doing here? It's not working. So today I'm going to do some binding. Give me 2 seconds to get this started again because I had it on and then it disappeared and now it's on again. Okay, here we go. Today we're going to bind. That's what we're going to do. And then other stuff and just relax. It's relax day. That's why it says relax day in the title. All right, we got Grace, Teresa, Vicky, Karen, another Karen, Jim, Leanne, Donna, Jacqueline, Peggy, Faye, Sharon, Joanna, Gloria, Linda, and so many more. If I didn't say your name, hello, welcome. We're going to do some binding. I'm going to place these over here so that way I don't lose the two color combos, even though they're different colors, so I could at least sort of see them. And I am going to load a purple bobbin first. I did not finish doing the tags or anything, so I have my sort of finished tags, and each tag that goes with each quilt, these are how we make our tags. There's a video. Each one of these tags, I have decided that I'm not going to top stitch them in advance anymore. What I'm going to do, well, I'm going to attempt to remember this, is to top stitch them with the color that I'm binding with. I mean, hello, genius. So I need a little bit of thread for the binding as well as top stitching on these little tags to match the color of the binding. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. Normally I just do a white stitch all the way around all of them. Sometimes I get a black stitch, but most of the time it's white. All right, and I this is the only purple thread I have in here, so I'm using it. At least for the one. These are quilts that I finished. I already showed you guys the finished tops. I just never put the binding on them because I've been busy. I've been so busy, like super busy.
Which one are you working on first?
I'm working on that one with the purple first.
Okay, well then we'll put this one on the wall so they can see what they look like.
Oh, yeah. So first I'm going to work on binding my gnomes with the purple, the wall hanging one. Ta-da. There's that. So I'm going to do the wall hanging first because that's getting purple thread. Because I quilted it in purple thread. And for the longest time, I actually brought the thread from the long arm in here to use for the binding because the thread usually matches the backing fabric. But this one does not match the backing fabric. So I didn't really need to bring that thread in here. So I'm doing a top stitch on my tag first. As we pre-make tags here, or at least attempt it.
Who makes those tags
Scott,
for you?
Scott is the one who painstakingly sits at the embroidery machine pressing the button every 10 seconds because it only stitches one word at a time and then it says press the button again. Ay, ay, ay. It's a long job, so I put him on that when I'm doing other things. Oh, this is a wall hanging. Does it need hanging hooks? I don't know either. Anyways, I'm gonna put the tag down here in the bottom. Oh, I need to trim it first. Trim the tag. Yes.
Maybe you should start.
Well, I already loaded one thread, so. All right, I'm gonna attempt to put this tag in the center. Ooh, I'm also going to see, I'm taking, it's a lazy day, and lazy days, for some reason, I don't remember to do specific things, like right on the back of the tag, naming the little quilt. This one is Magical Gnomes. And I have fabric markers specifically for this in all sorts of colors. See, look at that, not sponsored or anything, but these are like 2-year-old markers, and some of them still work. Like this one, sort of works.
While you're doing that, tell them about our Etsy sale and that all these are for sale too.
And don't forget that my Etsy shop, everything is still on sale if you message us and buy directly from us, not through the Etsy website. It doesn't say it's on sale there, but if you email us at tiffanysquiltinglife@yahoo.com, you will get a percentage off.
20 to 30.
20 to 30% off, depending on the quilt. That's a lot of savings. G-I-C magic and G-N-O-M-E-S is how you spell gnomes. I have to say it out loud or else I write the wrong thing. N-O. See, I'm all behind today. E-S. Magic gnomes. And this is 4 of 25. Perfect. See, I try to remember to tag everything, you know? Magic gnomes, that's what it says. All right. I'll do the other ones when I go to sew those. All right, I'm going to put this tag on the back in the center, as best as centered as possible, on the bottom, because that's technically where I stick them. I also back stitch them on, so that way they are on there, like that.
I don't know what to say about the name, but she hasn't texted me back, or she's not on there.
Well, I'm hoping this is enough binding. And maybe I should add the hanging hooks, huh? I'm going to put hanging hooks on this. Look at that. Purple.
White or black would look good, or even a light blue though.
Yeah, I'm going to do purple.
I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah. You can do any color on this. There's so many colors on here. And I use ribbons. Sometimes I make the hanging hooks from the binding fabric, but I'm just doing it from the from ribbon. Ribbon hooks work just fine. And I do 5-inch. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, and 1 more. This is the only one getting them anyway. So in case you guys were curious how I put hanging hooks on quilts, if I make it out of regular binding, then I take however many hooks I need worth of binding off, and then I fold it into the center, and then fold it in half again so that it's this thick, which is like 5/8 of an inch or so. They usually end up this thick, but I switched to ribbon because ribbon seems to be easier. Yep. All right, so now I'm going to just move my markers out of the way. I'm going to lay this quilt right here on the cutting mat. I try to center it in between two numbers, right about there. And then I use 4 clips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. And I put these hanging hooks on here. So that's centered. We're going to go 1, 2 inch in. And I line it up with the edge. I fold it up. You probably can't even see right here. Stay. And then I go 2 inches in on this side. I always put the hooks, even though it doesn't seem like it needs 4 hooks, I will put it because even though little projects don't seem like they need it, in between those hooks, if you don't have as many of them and you hang it on a dowel, it'll kind of do a wave like a curtain does. You don't want it to curtain, so the more hooks, the better, because you don't want it to curtain out. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there, and in the blue. I'm just going to put my hooks there for now. My clips, I mean. And I'm going to line it up. I fold the ribbon in half like this, you know, in half on top of each other, matching up the 2 raw edges. And then place it like this. So let me show you what that looks like. So they're hung on the back, and I'm going to stitch them with them facing down like this. Okay. Now, if you wanted to use this as a table topper kind of thing with the hooks on it, it will still lay flat on the table with the hooks on it because they're ribbon hooks. When I do the fabric hooks, those ones are a little bit thicker. So obviously there's just a little bump on it, but no one really ever knows. So before I go and do anything else, I'm going to stitch these on, then put the binding on, because I don't want them to move anywhere. I want them to stay nice and flat where they are. And I back stitch about 3 times. It's not a heavy quilt, but if, say, a grandchild was to start yanking on it, it wouldn't fall, you know, it wouldn't rip the quilt because it's going to stay. Because you know how kids can be, or if it's your child, it doesn't even have to be a grandkid. It could be a niece or nephew or someone's child. But at least keeps them from ripping. Okay. Those are on there. So when it hangs from a dowel, it'll hang nicely like that. And it won't get no curtain rotting. That's what I call it, curtaining, you know, because that's what curtains do. All right. Now I'm just going to attach the binding now. It's a 2.5 inch binding, in case you were curious. I'm going to see where these seams are first, though, because I find the smaller quilts, this one has a lot of pieced fabric to make this binding because I just used scraps. So I want to make sure that I don't have any. Can you move this whole entire thing and then pass it to me when I need it?
I already moved that.
I'm going to make sure where these are going to land. That way I don't have a seam in the corner. So I'm literally going to clip it on all the way around. Making sure, oh, look at that. Didn't land in the corner. When you do a big quilt, they usually don't land in a corner. If you start one seam further up, then usually the rest of the way around, it won't land in a corner. But there are those occasions where it does. And I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's a lot thicker when the seams land in the corners. So you don't really want that. It's harder to get a mitered corner to be absolutely pristine when there's a seam right there. Normally I don't clip or anything like that, but these are the occasions that I actually do, because this is a scrap pieced binding. It's, you know, one color, but some are 10-inch strips, some were like 7.5-inch strips. It's just the leftover fabric, which when I made the quilt, I told you guys I was going to use it for binding. And you saw it was just the leftover bits and pieces. Look at that. Not in that corner either. It's next to it, but it's not on it. Come on. There we go. Clip. And one more clip right about there. Wow, I made a lot of extra binding. So this is what it looks like. Those hooks are hanging somewhere right here, hanging downward. They're not in the way. And now, just stitch it on with my lovely purple thread. And a 2.5-ish stitch length. I don't need, the binding doesn't need to be a 2, you know, when you attach it. And then when I attach it to the top, I use a 3. It doesn't need to be super tight. This should go pretty quick. This machine's sure vibrating today. This is probably the fastest thing I do when it comes to quilting, is binding. Even taking the time to clip it on here in advance. Why is it vibrating so much?
I don't know.
Like it's on super vibrate. The whole entire thing. It should be on the yoga mat the whole way. Unless the machine is just running super strong. I don't know. Okay, now I'm going across the top and I'm just going over those hooks. I don't move them out of the way until I top stitch. Then I'll move them out of the way. Huh? No. I thought we're...
do the other side?
We'll do it on another quilt.
Okay.
Because this one is...
set on one
it's at the halfway point. Yeah, oh, the question was, what is my pressure set at? So I have a presser foot pressure gauge right up here. That's what this knob is, and it puts more pressure. So like for really thin fabrics, you want it further down. For really thick fabrics, you want it up higher. I have it at the halfway point. Yeah. All right. And then all I do, oh wow, I went really far with that. Let's snip it off a little bit. Take the piece that I snipped off, open it up, not this long way, that's way too long. The width of the binding, I literally flatten everything out right here, place that on top, put this piece flattened out on top of that, and then snip it at that edge. I literally don't have to get up and do anything. Just do it with scissors. Move the seam guide out of the way. You can see right here from this angle, I'll do it when I do another quilt too from up close, but I literally, here's the fold facing that way. I open it up and place it right side up. I grab the bottom one open it and put it right sides down. I don't ever tangle this way. I did in the beginning a long time ago, but nowadays I haven't tangled a quilt binding in years, just because I do it like this. And I just start that stitching, leave the needle down, and then follow my seam tape corner to corner. Literally, you open it up, make sure it's good. Oh yeah, look at that. Like it's foolproof, you know, like you can't mess this up. And then I just grab my scissors and cut almost a 1/4 inch away. And then I'll finger press it. Whatever way it seems to want to go. I just want it flat. And then I'm going to put my seam guide back because I'm not very good at this whole 1/4 inch thing. And then I'm going to rechange my stitch length again. Stitch about 1 inch past where I started, so I don't have to back stitch or anything. And look at that, it's already attached. It's super quick. Flip the whole thing over, and I always bring mine to the front. I'm a front binder. I like my binding around the front side. I think it gives it that last and final look of a border, and or it finishes it off. I don't know, I just think it looks cleaner. That's personal preference. You don't have to do that. Change my stitch length to a 3, and I just use my fingers to slide down, staying 1/8 of an inch from the edge of the binding. Using my fingers to smoothen and flatten everything as I go. And trying to start up this mitered corner here, all at the same time. I always take a stitch in and out of the corner for the mitered corner. That way it's got a back stitch holding it down. And right now I'm at one of the hooks, that's the 2 inch in. I'm going to pull that out and away from the quilt. And I'm just going to hold it nice and flat. So that way it's not getting stitched on. I'm stitching next to it. And then I just do that with all the hooks. I just pull them out of the way, stitch next to them. I guess you can bring the camera around so they can see me top stitching next to these hooks.
That's what I was going to say.
I'll wait to stitch the rest of this.
Have you ever done a flange binding?
Yes, I've done lots of flange binding on lots of different quilts. I just haven't in a while.
Tell me a video.
I have video somewhere on there. I have videos on it. He's going to bring this around. Sorry, I forgot to warn you that the camera is moving. Yep. Yep. I think. Yeah. We might have to come closer. Right about here. There you guys can see. I'm not going to move. All right, so here's my hanging hook, and literally just holding it out of the way, keeping it flat though. I don't want to yank it to where it's pulling too much on the quilt. I just want it up and out of the way. I can feel where it's going to stitch. And then I use my fingers. My fingers are very important when it comes to putting binding. I just go right past it. The other one's further down. So I use my fingers to fold in any loose threads and make this a nice crisp edge. And then I use my fingers to hold it as I come along, and then I walk my fingers out of the way. So here's another one. See? I'm just going to pull it out of the way, but I don't want to pull too much because if you see right here, if you pull too much, it bends it. We don't want to bend it. We want to keep it flat when you put hooks in. Same thing if you were to use the binding as the hooks. And then I just use my fingers to hold it down. When I come close, like this, I just go right past it. And then this is the part that actually hurts my arthritic fingers, is putting binding on. This is probably the worst part of everything, because I use my fingers to make sure everything stays flat and flush. And then I'm folding my little corner in right here. So I always push up and then make sure it's nice. Push the top over till they match. I also got to hold this out of the way at the same exact time, keeping everything flat. Coming right to it. I take one stitch into the side. I'm going to go down, back in, and then in. So it gets a back stitch right there. But nobody's ever going to pull on those, these corners right here. Nobody's ever going to yank that off of there, but there's at least a back tack stitch holding it in, you know what I'm saying? So you can literally point out it, and I don't stitch on them because I think it looks tacky when you stitch on it. That's just my own personal opinion. Some people do, though. If the thread matches perfectly, sew it. Yeah, then it'd be perfect. If it's for a child, then sew it, or you can hand stitch it. But see, all I do is tuck threads in, push it down, and use my fingers along the way. It's very, very easy to bind. Like I said, this is the one that this goes the fastest in the world of quilting for me. So again, I just pull that binding up to the front, place it down. I kind of smooth that out real quick and then push it down, and you get a perfect mitered corner every time. Come up to it. Oh, I took 2 stitches accidentally, but hey, you know what? It's going to be loved, and it's going to hang on somebody's wall. Okay, fold this last corner up. Literally just folding it. I kind of give just a little bit of a crease to that, to the side that's going to be folding over. Then I fold it over, and this one's not landing perfect, but no one ever said they were always perfect, but they're perfect enough in my world. There we go. That's better. I stitch up to it. And then I'll show you what happens if it doesn't come out perfect, that it's fixable. But I have to finish first because I'm on the last side and I need to be able to pull it up so you can see. All right, so I'm just gonna give it a little tug right here to keep that flat on the way. I'm gonna come up to the stitching where I started, back stitch, and then go a little back stitch, a little bit more back stitch, and then I always just lift the needle, pull it away, and snip my threads. So here, this corner did not land perfectly. See how it has a little fold in it? Sharp, pointy thing, right there, pulls it out. Try not to use the part of the scissors that does that, but there. Now it's a perfect corner. Okay? Because you can just pull it out. You can do the same thing on the back side. If it wrinkles like that, see? You just take a little tiny, you can use a seam ripper even, not a seam ripper, but the stiletto is the word I was looking for, and point that out. Oh, that one's perfect. It didn't need anything. That one, it's perfect enough. But yeah, if you need to fix them, you just stick something sharp in it and push it out. And they land just nicely every time. All right, one quilt done. Pass me the blue, and I'll do this because it's hanging behind me.
Yep.
All right.
Runner's going next.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, I think I chose this one.
We're gonna leave the camera there.
Oh, yeah. Is it this thread or that thread that I chose?
Oh, I don't know. You didn't tell me.
I think this one.
Honestly, I think the lighter blue is better than the darker.
This one's for the dark other blue project. Okay. Oh, and look, it's getting a blue writing tag too.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
You chose the. Good.
Yeah.
That's a good tag for it.
All right, I'm gonna remove my purple. I'm gonna load in this pretty blue. I'm gonna tie my thread. That's how I run it through the machine. I'm so used to it now.
You have a video of quilting these.
I have a video of quilting these, yes. Right?
Yeah. These you long-armed on a video.
Did I long arm them on a video? I thought I long armed the other thing on a video. I didn't know I did this.
Oh, that was this one. Never mind. Maybe it was this one.
I didn't on these.
Oops, I'm sorry.
I need a threader.
That was my bad.
Oh, come on. And then I need to put the blue thread in there. And I'll use the rest of that purple up later on sewing whatever. All right, so I'm going to top stitch around my tag. One more stitch right there. All right, and then I'm gonna carefully cut this away from the camera. I take the tag, I always make them bigger. I take it to 2 1/8 inch, 1, 2 1/8. Yes, that's what I take it to, just so that you guys know. Right now it's a little too long in the space between here and here. So I take it to 2 1/8. And then I need a blue marker to write on the back. Where's my markers?
Oh, you didn't tell me I was.
All right, let's get a blue out. And this one is called Magical Gnomes also. Magic.
Explain the thread thing, please. The tying.
Oh, that way I don't have to rethread the machine every time. If you just tie it off and then pull the thread through, you don't have to thread your machine every time. Magical Gnomes. And these are fabric markers. They do not wash away. 4 25. Bam, just like that. So my Magical Gnomes is marked. My Tiffany's Quilting Life is on the front. We're going to move the markers out of the way, move the binding out of the way. And this does not have I'm not going to find the center of this quilt on the back. What I'm actually just going to do is put this in the center of a side. That looks center enough to me. Take my stitch length down a little. And then I back stitch them on a few times. That way the tags are harder to rip them off for somebody who's trying to steal my work and say they did it themselves. Because that happens. It does. People cut them off. If you guys can believe it. All right, so I'm going to put this at my 1/4 inch, which is about right there. I'm going to find a seam. I'm going to line that seam up right before the corner. Walk this up to this side. Actually, I'm going to put the seam after the corner because that's really long. I used full-length fabric for this is why. All right, I'm going to leave about a 10-inch tail. Sometimes I leave it too long. I'm going to change my stitch length to a 2.5. And I'm literally just going to walk it on like this. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm lining it up as I come to it so I can continuously stitch. Then I'm going to come to right before the edge. Most people do this right here. So you stitch it. And then you come about a 1/4 inch from the corner, which one more stitch. Turn it and stitch off into that corner at a 45, like that. Now, I don't do that very often, so just so you know, right now I'm just showing you. Most times I just stop before the edge. Let me put this back on the 1/4 line or else I'm going to screw this up. I can't do my corners with this seam guide. I can't tilt it, just in case you were curious. This is what I usually do. I come up to about 1/4 inch, back stitch, break thread, then turn it onto itself. And I always back stitch when I restart. If the binding wasn't hiding between my legs, it would be so much easier. It was under the quilt between my legs. So I just walk it, lining it up as I go. Told you, this is the fastest thing I do. It literally just takes minutes. Especially table runners. Table runners and wall hangings, they go quick. So if you've never done this before, I'm stitching it on. I'm bringing it to the right, and then I'm making myself a crease. I'm going to use my fingers right here, my 2 fingers, and I'm holding it to fold it over onto itself. Usually I used to have fingernails to do this. It works so much easier if you use your fingernails to hold it. But then I'm holding it. So now I have an equal piece right there, and this is flush on the fold, and then you just come in on the edge. Back stitch. Straighten things out. All right, so I'm gonna come up to this again. I'm just gonna stop right before at 1/4 inch. Usually my basting stitch is right there. Back stitch, fold it to the right, create a crease. Use your fingers to fold it over the other way, just like this, and then it's flush right there. It's flush with the edge of the quilt, and then start. Now I'm gonna stop real soon, and then you can see how the 2 are combined. Let's see where I need to stop, about right here. Right there. All right. Here's the end. Let's see how well this is showing up on camera. So here's the one end. Here is the end I need to attach it to. This one I don't need to trim, so this is how I do this. I take the end of the binding like this, and I open it up on top of itself, moving the excess out of the way. Let's try to keep this flat right here on my lap so you can see.
Was sewing in the bedroom before or after the garage? It was before.
Sewing in the bedroom was during garage. That was summertime stuff.
Oh, okay. I thought it was before.
Okay, so I smooth this out. I put my open end right here. Then I'm going to bring my closed end down over it. You should always have enough binding left over to do this. Smoothing that out on here, and now I know where I need to cut. So I'm literally just going to stick my scissors in, make the cut, just like that. And that's what's left over. So I didn't even have to pre-cut anything off of there. And then we'll move this out of the way, change my stitch length to a 2. So this is the part that confuses people.
What size binding do you use?
This is 2.5 inch binding. I pretty much use 2.5 exclusively, except for all my open gate projects and some of my little projects. They get 2 1/4, sometimes less. All right, so open it up like this and fold it on right sides up. Then you're going to grab this quilt right here, move it up a little bit, and you can see that it comes off just like that. All you need to do is open it, slide it open, and it's already right sides down. Make an L shape right here. And then you're going to sew from one corner to the other. You don't even really need to pin. You just stick it under the foot. Once it's under the foot, you're good. Nothing's going to move. Just hold it with your fingers. I'm going to take my seam tape with the corner right here, and I'm going to follow that. This is the most easiest thing. You shouldn't mess it up. And then when I let go, it should be exactly the size it needs to be. So once I know that it's not tangled or anything like that, I just cut away this excess with a 1/4 inch-ish seam, because with scissors it's hard to judge that. And then I always press it whatever way it's seeming like it wants to go. I just kind of give it a smudge in that general direction with my fingernail. Smooth it back out. I'm going to put this back down because or else I'm going to screw it up. Change my stitch length back to a 2.5. And I'm just going to hold this end, keeping this nice and flush. Sew the rest of the way down. And then about an inch past my start. Just like that. And it's perfect. Now top stitching is just as easy. So I'm going to pull it, just reach in, grab it, pull it around. This does match, so it's going to be the same color as I go around. So I have to put my glasses on for this one because I have a hard time stitching same color thread with same color border and binding. So I wear glasses at this point. All right. Now I just fold it over, and I do that same thing with my fingers. I just have to watch, you know, because you can't see the difference between these two fabrics. So I have to watch where it is and watching that needle 1/8 of an inch away from the edge of the fold of the binding. As long as I don't like move it and adjust it, I should be good the whole way.
What brand of seam guide are you using?
The seam guide is no brand. They all have weird oddball made in China.
They're just from Walmart.
Yeah, they're Walmart brand. They're just Walmart brand. All right, so here we are at this again. So you can see I'm just going to push this up, folding it nice and flat. Give this a little bit of a crease. And then just use your other finger to fold it over. And look at that. It lands right where it's supposed to. You can't even see that because it's matching fabric. So I'm going to stitch right up to it, into it, and then pivot with the needle down. And then I just smooth this in there. And see, sometimes there's batting. I had to have this a square quilt when I was finished, but after quilting, it wasn't very square. So the batting is going to show. This is what covers it. This is how you finish your quilt. And then all these excess threads. Sometimes I snip really long ones, but I just slide them in there. And there they'll stay forever. All right, corner again, just pull it up to the front, lay it down. This is very, very simple for those that are beginners and have never bound before. Straighten that out. I hold that down until I get to it. Once it's under the foot, then I just move my fingers and do my back stitch into this fabric, into this, back into this, and then pivot. Needle always down. Put this up on my lap. It's best if your quilt or whatever it is you're binding is on your lap. Because if it starts going to the side and hanging to the side of you, not on your lap, do you see what's going to happen? You're going to start stitching not straight, and you're going to struggle more to keep it straight in front of you. Did it knock it off? No, it didn't. Okay.
Can you show what the binding thread looks like on the wrong side?
The thread on the back, the thread has a stitch right next to the binding on the back side. Can you see that? So it always lands right next to it, that thread right there. That's why I try to match it. Or I'll use the same color I quilted with, and then it'll just look like a final stitch. But it's always on the back like that. But you can fold the binding over when it's upside down. Keep it upside down, fold it over and hold it, and then top stitch in this ditch. But then you'll have a really big lip on the front right here. So I tend not to do that. But you can do that if you wanted to. No one ever said you couldn't top stitch from the back side. But I like to make sure, like this one, see again, it was crooked, so the batting is sticking out. I want to make sure that I'm fully covering that batting. So I like to do it from the top. So I'm just going to fold my corner in, smooth it out just a little, pinch it down, stitch all the way up to where it's under the foot, then remove my fingers. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that stitch on the back. Nobody looks at the back of the quilt anyway, but it just looks like it's part of the quilting, honestly. For those that don't know anything about quilting, they don't know that it wasn't supposed to be there. Darn thing back on my lap. It's a table runner, so it's kind of awkward.
What's the disadvantage of binding from the front and folding to the back?
The disadvantage from binding to the front and folding to the back, you're going to have that same stitch line around the front side, unless you're stitching in the ditch from the front side into the back side. It's the same exact thing. That sometimes if you're stitching, you're putting your binding on the front and then flipping it to the back, and when you're stitching it, sometimes it ends up with looking like a wavy line, across your binding. Does that make any sense? So you would see this line, but wavy on the front side. So you definitely need to match your colors that way. But most people stitch to the front, fold to the back, put clips on it, and then hand stitch it. I'm not a hand stitcher whatsoever. That just drives me nuts. I mean, again, I've said before, I've only made one quilt by hand. I haven't even hand quilted it yet. It just seems like a daunting process to me. So I haven't done it. But it's the same whether you go from front to back, back to front. I like it on the front because it makes that, especially if it's a different color, it looks like another border, like it was meant to be that way. When you stitch it from the back, then from the top and then fold it to the back, it's really, really skinny on the front, and it doesn't give it that finished look, in my personal opinion. This gives it a finished look. All right, so I'm right to where I started. I'm going to go to that stitch, cross it, back stitch, walk it a little bit more, back stitch one more time, lift this, slide it away, and all stitched. The last thing I need to do is go through, I don't know if you guys can see this, but my basting stitches, I got really sloppy with this quilt on the basting. I get really sloppy with basting. When I'm done with everything, I go through the back side and I pluck out. This is always before I sell something or finish a project or whatever I'm doing. I remove those basting stitches that are back here. Doesn't really take that long. Then they're not fully seeable the whole way. Sometimes it's hidden, but I got really sloppy with this one. So there's basting stitches sticking out all over the whole thing. And basting is what you do to hold the quilt onto the long arm, if you didn't know. And I'm glad I don't do a straight. I'm glad I do big stitches like this, because that way it's easy to pull them out. But this one is really sloppy. I mean, I'm going to finish it later, but right now I'm just showing you this is how I do it. And they come right undone when you snip the end of it. They come out really easily. And sometimes I reach the end of one and the start of another, which was whatever was in my throat space. Wow, I really just let this one go. Anyway, so I'll finish that later, but I always go and clean up the basting stitches. All right, next quilt and the markers.
Hold on, it's not even an hour. Should we move the camera back and do this?
Oh, yeah, let's do that then.
You want to move the camera back?
Yep, Scott's going to move the camera back because the next quilt's big anyway, once I get to it. We're going to switch modes here.
Yeah, it hasn't even been an hour and already you're going in
Oh yeah, I'm so quick with binding that I forget that we need a little bit extra time to draw videos out at, over an hour.
Oh, Becky Spencer. Say thank you to Becky.
Thank you, Becky. Awesome. That was wonderful. Wonderful. I'm going to switch the thread out though before I get started on the next project. But Scott's going to pass me something that came in the lovely mail. And I get to share this with you guys. Let's put that way over there. So I can put it away. Put this thread on here. Yeah, I just tie right here. I just tie the thread. That way I don't have to thread the machine every time, and then I just pull it through. If you guys have not noticed that. If you're new to my channel, then you've probably never seen it. But if you're not new, I've been doing that. It's a long arm quilting thing. I've just been doing it on the long arm, so I brought it in here. And yeah, it's so much easier than rethreading the Juki every time.
What size basting stitch do you use on the long arm?
I use a 1/2-inch basting stitch on the long arm. That way they're easy to rip out.
And Laura also gives you $5.
Oh, thank you, Laura. All right. We're going to switch modes to some mail for a second. Oops. I didn't mean to hit that button. I'm going to put this right there. And this will go right there for now. So we got some mail here. This is from Fat Tuesday Fabrics. So it's a Louisiana. If you don't know what Fat Tuesday is, it's actually what I think the start of Mardi Gras. Not 100% sure on that, but we think that's what it is. But anyways, Fat Tuesday Fabrics. If you type in explanation sale, it will give you a link, and if you use code TIFF TIFF10, you'll get 10% off of your purchase up till May 4th. So again, Fat Tuesday Fabrics, there's going to be a link in the chat. There's also a link in the description below this video to get if you use at checkout code TIFF10, you will get 10% off of your purchase. So thank you to Fat Tuesday Fabrics because this is awesome for you guys to give to my fans, give you guys a little bit of fun so you guys can go check them out, see what they sent me. It's really in here. I'm just gonna have to ooh, there we go. What do we got in here? Ooh. Oh, thank you, Milena. All right. And I'll have Scott hold this card up to the camera. Here's their business card.
Oh, hold on. Why is the explanation sale not working?
It should be working. Explanation sale. Are you sure is that what I made it?
I thought that's what you told me. You said, can I remember it or do I need to write it down? Did you make it something else?
No, I'm pretty sure it's that. I just messed it up.
It's not on the affiliate. It'd be on this thing.
He's trying to fix it. Until then, Fat Tuesday Fabrics is their thing. FATTUESDAYFABRICS.com.
I will show that.
He's going to show the card, but we're going to try to fix this link. It's in the description below. It should have been working.
Well, all the other links are working, so did you...
From now on, keep this open during a live so that I don't have to keep doing it because now it has to get my permission and everything.
All of our other links are working. I've tried many of them.
Sorry, guys. I totally wanted to get to that beautiful fabric that I can see. Yes, it's me. It should be.
Oh, it's sales with an S.
Oh, okay. Sales with an S. All right.
I thought it was just sale.
All right. Let's see what we got here.
So, see, that was my bad.
Oh, there's more than one here. What do we got? Let's open this up. Oh, it's Purple Fest. We've got quite a bit. It looks like a little bit more than a yard of this pretty purple. Ooh. I like that with the circles. Let me see what the brand is because this came from a company. This is Andover Fabrics. It's called Eye Candy Quilts for Andover Fabrics. So there's that. That's pretty. I like how she folded all this into one. All right, and then we have this batik right here. I can't tell you what the batiks are, obviously, because I honestly don't know batik lines, and they don't have anything on a selvage. So it looks like a little bit more than a yard there. It's called a fat yard is what it is, because it's bigger than a yard, but less than a yard and a half.
That's awesome.
Look at this one. Ooh, it's purple and blue with yellow. Look at that. So again, if you head over to Fat Tuesday Fabrics, the link is in the chat or in the description below the video. Your code is TIFF10, all capitalized. TIFF capitalized, and then 10 for 10% off of your sale until May 5th. I mean 4th, May 4th. Till the 4th be with you.
Yeah, may the 4th be with you. Yeah.
May the 4th be with you. So look at this one. This one's pretty with the pink polka dots. I like that. Top-notch quality fabrics here. Ooh, and this last one was the one that everything was folded up into. This one is pretty. I love this with all those colors, the purple, the blue, the orange. Look at that, with the flowers on it and leaves. That is so awesome. And then I don't know what this is, but it looks intriguing. What might this be? Oh, I've never seen this before. It looks like 5-inch squares by the roll. This is awesome. 5-inch squares by the roll, guys. By the roll. Are they 5-inch?
Cool.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at that. That's so awesome. This one's got bees. I don't know if I unroll it, if I'm going to get it rolled back on. This is so cute. So it's little bees and beehives and bee fabric, little flowers. Okay, I'm never going to get this fully rolled back properly, but I've never seen this before. This is awesome. I guess I don't get around and shop very often. But if you go shop Fat Tuesday Fabrics, I'm pretty sure you'll find this on there and use code TIFF10 to get 10% off. Look at that. That's so awesome. The things they come up with. Look at that. Fabric on a roll.
Toilet paper.
Yep.
Fancy
Fancy toilet paper for sure. Don't flush this stuff, people. Don't flush it. This is awesome. This is
printed at 5 inches or is it sewn? Are they sewn pieces or are they?
They're not sewn. They're prints.
Printed.
It's prints, and they're like pretty much 5-inch. It's not exact. It's probably like 1/8 of an inch off, but so what? You just chop them off and sew them together by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's 5 inches. That is so awesome. I have never seen this. I love it. I love it. So again, Fat Tuesday Fabrics. And Lucy, thank you. Again, you can find them on Fat Tuesday Fabrics. I'm trying to see what their Instagram. Facebook is Fat Tuesday Fabrics and Gifts. Instagram is Fat Tuesday Fabrics, and just the website is fattuesdayfabrics.com. And they have Twitter too, but I don't use Twitter. If you guys do, that's on you. Look at that. That is an awesome gift. So thank you, Lucy. Yeah, and her shipping was pretty quick too. Just thought I'd let you guys know. So if you're worried about how long the shipping is going to take and stuff.
Clear itself. Maybe they can do this. There we go. Nope, it's still not.
He's trying to get it to focus, but for me, the light glares on it. It's fine though. It's fine. All right. So there's that. I really love this. This is pretty.
What's a good heavy machine that will sew through multiple layers for under $500?
A good heavy machine that sews through multiple layers for under $500 doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Sorry. You can get a Brother. I think the Brother one is called the something 100 or something. What is it? I don't know, but it's a Brother machine that's just like the Juki, and that one's usually $799 everywhere else, everywhere. So you might want to look online, but you might have to up your budget a little. I have the Brother SQ9285, and it'll sew through denim, but it won't sew through more than 2 layers. So if you want something that'll sew through anything, I only made 1 bag on that machine, and sewing through 2 layers of batting, 2 layers of fabric, and interfacing, it didn't like it. It was like chugging along. I was like pushing that machine to its death. All right. 1 more quilt. That was awesome, awesome, awesome fabrics. One more
lots of sales
quilt.
going on tonight.
Yep,
huh?
I have lots of sales. Yep, Fat Tuesday Fabrics. Offering you guys all 10% off until May 4th off of your final purchase. That's a deal in my book. If you use code TIFF10 in all caps. All right, I ran that through, switching to dark blue. Yep, he's hanging. Oh, they're not going to see that.
Well, I don't know.
You have to lift that one up, probably.
Okay, fine.
That's kind of high, yeah.
Well, you're the one that wants this stuff moved.
There you
You
go.
just work. I'm doing nothing.
All right, I got 1 tag to do here,
It's not gonna stay.
and then I'm going to write on it. I didn't name this quilt. What should I name this quilt?
Ooh, I don't know. This is the baby quilt, right? This one you quilted online.
This one is the one I quilted on live stream, yes.
Yeah.
1 more stitch. All right. What should I name this quilt, friends? I'm going to call it Dashing because there's dashes. Get it? Dashing?
It doesn't really look like dashing, but flowers on it, and the back is all flowers.
Dashing flowers.
I mean, you quilted flowers on it too.
Dashing flowers. Dashing roses. Dashing roses.
Dashing
There we go.
roses,
Give me my markers.
Are the flowers on the back roses though? They're not roses, are they?
No, they're like whatchamacallit flowers on the back.
I don't know what whatchamacallit flowers are, but they're flowers.
They're whatchamacallit flowers.
Those types of flowers.
I'm just going to call it Dashing Flowers because this all got so many different flowers.
Does the Juki handle multiple layers?
The Juki does handle multiple layers, and I have done it in a video. I sewed through 8 layers of vinyl with this thing, and it still was able to sew more, I think. But I wasn't trying to break the darn thing. But yeah, I did 8 layers of vinyl, and it worked just fine. But who sews 8 layers of vinyl?
Flower Dash.
Flower Dash, that's better, actually.
That's
I like
from a
that
band.
better.
Teresa's Sandoval.
That's what I was looking for. Right on top. I was digging for it. It's right on top.
Just like the last time we couldn't find your other seam guide. It was
Yeah.
right there.
You want to know what the seam guide is hooked to now? My extra one? It's hooked to a pair of scissors.
You moved it. You can't move it.
No, there's one in that machine. Then I had the extra small one for this one because I wanted to change. If I want to change out and do binding, so I get the corners.
That machine still the same spot?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
It's hooked to that machine. But I found the other pair because it was hooked to a pair of scissors. You know, those things just magnetize to everything. All right, Flower Dash. That's what I said, right? Is that what the word was? Was that what it was?
Oh, hold on. Yes, Flower Dash.
Yeah, I like that better. Flower Dash.
Candy Stripes is nice too, but you already started writing.
Yep. dash because it's got dashes. And this was also finished in 4 of 25. Ta-da! And I wrote it in red marker. I try to mix things up a little. There we go. Take those, put this away, and close that blade before I start cutting everything accidentally.
Like yourself.
Like myself. All right, I'm going to grab an end of the binding and throw the rest of it out of the way. I'm going to grab the back of the quilt. It has no direction. Well, it does because it's a rectangular quilt, but I always put tags down when they're big quilts, regular big size quilts. It either gets a corner tag for the really big quilts or one of these tags, and I always put it, I don't know, this is about 7-8 inches away from the edge right here on one of the long sides, unless it's a square quilt, but I always put it towards the bottom corner. All right, and then I'm gonna bazillion stitch it. So it's nicely stitched on there. I'm gonna find a seam in the binding. Where's it at? Wow, did I cut the length of the fabric or something?
Do you have a video for making your tags and labels?
Do I have a video for tags? Yes.
I think you do, right?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
How big is this quilt? Do you know?
Has the sticker on it? It
sure.
might still be at the long arm because I probably didn't even bring it in here. It's a lap. That's what I could tell you offhand. Usually I have a little sticker on it, but it's not. It's probably out at the long arm. Okay, let me find that seam again somewhere right here. All right, here we go. Let's put my seam guide where it goes. Right there.
Oh, Jim put a link to the video of tags.
Jim put a link for the video of the tags. Did we show corner tags, but we mainly show these little square ones in the video.
What all do you put on your labels? Name and date?
So my labels, that bag next to you, behind me, next to you, the bag has the tags right there. Yep, you can just hold one tag up to the screen so they can see. It says, Tiffany's Quilting Life, made with love, Tiffany Groff. And then I always hand write the rest on the back. That way I don't have to constantly keep going into the embroidery machine because that embroidery machine is a hassle to use and it's just annoying. So, I mean, it's not a hassle like if you're into embroidery, but it's in another room, so it's not like it's right here where I can just turn it on and use it. Oh, we just spend all the time making a bunch and then I write whatever I need to information-wise. And I usually put the name of the quilt and the year. Everything else is there. Tiffany's Quilting Life, because it was made or done something with it was done on live stream. And I make all my quilts with love, lots of love and dedication to the craft, as well as my name. So if somebody found it at the thrift store, they'd know that Tiffany Groff made it. And they can learn to quilt along the way because it says Tiffany's Quilting Life, and they could look that up.
How wide is the sashing between the rows of quilt?
This is 2.5 inch, and then that's a 3 inch and 2.5. So I didn't make a video on this, but there's a bunch of pieces. They're all different. There's a word. They were all different widths. They weren't 2.5 inch. Some were 2 inch, some were 2.5, some were 3.5 inch. So all of these pieces, but it was one long strip, and it was like 32-ish inches worth of these strips. And then I just sewed all the strips together and then added more to it because I sewed them into like strip sets.
Hold on, I want to know what you write on it. Show me a fabric marker.
Those are my fabric markers. So then I cut them. I think these are 10.5 inches. Where's 10.5? I cut the 11 inch. So 11, 22, and 33. That's where I cut it. So they were like 35-inch. They weren't full length strips from selvage to selvage. And then I put a 2.5-inch, a 3-inch, and a 2.5-inch on the separator sides. Then I did the 2.5-inch on one side and the other, a 2.5-inch across the top. And this border was 2 inches, no, 2.5 inches on the side and bottom. Yeah, that was 2.5. It's really easy to make. And I think there was like, we'll count after I bind it. How about that? How many strips there were? Yeah, no, this was 2.25-inch strips because I didn't have enough. That's right. So those were 2.25 and this was 3. These are just quick little things. When I have scraps, sometimes I sew them up off camera, you know. I don't purposely mean to not show you guys, but sometimes I just need some me time to sew. Or else I feel like I'm always on camera. Nothing wrong with that, but, you know, sometimes I just need some me time. So do you, though. You need some you time. Take these off my head before I give myself a headache with it just sitting there. I'm just binding this one with the same fabric that's on the backing. So it's just going to have matching fabric from the backing at least. But it matches the front too. In a way, even though the fabrics are not the same fabric line whatsoever. But as soon as I'm done binding it, we'll put it up on the wall and I'll tell you exactly how I made it. And how many strips I used. And it's very lightweight. This is a very lightweight quilt, which is great. Great for the lap. You just are sitting on the couch watching a movie and you need something to cover your feet because the air conditioning over the summer on your feet is like freezing your feet somehow, some way, yet it's still warm. That's me, by the way. I just have to cover my feet. Although if you guys didn't know, it's April, obviously, the end of April. And today it was, what was it, 58 degrees out this morning?
Yeah, but that's because our weather is bipolar.
But we are having some super bipolar weather. We had 100 degrees like 2 weeks ago, and then it's been cold again since. Like, I don't know what's wrong with the weather, but I was shivering this morning. Let's just say that. I don't do anything good under 70. Oi, don't do that. It's twisting. Just want to continuously sew, but it keeps twisting. That's what happens when you don't wrap up the binding and you just kind of make a big giant mess and throw it on top of the quilt and do it when you can. Get it done. Somehow it just makes itself all knotted up. All right, just a little bit down this side. I think to about right there is good. Smooth this out. I have a lot of extra binding on this one. I kind of made it a little big. All right, smoothed out, smoothed out. Lay this on top, smoothed out. And cut. All right, move this out of my way. Change my stitch length. Grab the one side, open it up, scrunch the quilt, open up the other one. And stitch. And then cut before I even check. I know it's good. I shouldn't have to check. And then finger press. I swear I talk like I'm talking to myself to remind myself what I'm doing, but I'm really not doing that. I'm telling you guys. I'm verbally saying it to you all. Cast it, bam. Move that out of the way. Flip. And then top stitch. And this one you're not going to see that thread stitch all the way around because the thread color completely matches the binding and the backing. So you won't see that stitch line. But you'll know it's there because I told you it was. Yeah, I bind a lot of quilts for long arm quilting clients as well, and none of them have ever said anything about how I do it. I think they all just love it. So
you like the knee lift?
I love the knee lift. If you can get a machine that has a knee lift, get a machine with a knee lift. I'm telling you, I don't know if it's sanity or what, but I never liked reaching back here and having to do this. There's some that are in the throat space. I don't know what it was. I like being able to just mindlessly, and once you get used to a knee lift, it's like so much easier. It makes everything so much easier, especially when you need that extra hand because you're holding something and you just use your knee lift to do everything else, you know? It's great when bag making to have a knee lift. Like, it's just the best thing ever. See, I don't have to do anything. I just pivot because my brain second naturally hits that knee lift. So if you get the chance to get a machine with a knee lift, get one with a knee lift. A lot of them come with them these days, and I know the Juki models, they have them. But I'm pretty sure the brother one has a knee lift too. Because my mom has the little brother one, and it has a knee lift. So now all of a sudden the machine isn't vibrating as crazy. Isn't that weird? So odd. Yeah, if you get used to a knee lift, you can use it like you've seen me do it. I use it when I'm standing, when I'm sitting. Plus it gives your leg a little bit of exercise. Although you'll have to find something to do with your other leg, like weave it back and forth every time you use the knee lift so that you're actually working out both legs at the same time. Or else your right leg is just going to be a lot stronger than your left. I mean, it doesn't take much pressure, but the act of the movement is what is working the leg out. I feel like it went quiet again. Every time I go silent. Yep. Yeah, when I'm done, I'm going to hold the whole thing up and tell you exactly what I did. So that way you know how to make something really easy like this with your scraps. You just throw them together. Get yourself a nice little lap quilt. I'll even tell you how big it is. I'm almost done. I just got to finish this side and half the other side.
Somebody came in to say hi.
Oh, somebody came in to say hi. He's going to come around the other side.
And trip over the chair. Look at this boy. He says, Mama's working.
Yeah.
I'm going to get me some gnomes. My gnomes.
Those are your gnomes. Huh, fat cat?
He says, I'm not fat, Mama. Don't you make fun of me. I hardly eat any food. He says, I'm stuffed. He says,
Well, I can't see that stitch at all on the backside. It really blends. All right, I'm going to put this up here and tell you what I did to create this. And tell you how big it is. It should hopefully hold itself up.
It's got to hold the other end.
Just smooth it on here.
I'm going to move the camera up so they can see.
He's going to change the camera angle so that you guys can see. There we go. Nice and smooth. So, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. There was 30 prints, various widths. So 30 prints at various widths. So not the length, but the width of the fabric. So 2 inch, 2.5 inch, 2 1/4 inch. There's 3 inch. I think these were 3.5. Various widths. This was only 30 inches of fabric. Well, 30, somewhere between 33 and 35. Then I sewed them together, 2s, 4s, 6, 8s, until the whole thing was just one long panel. Then I folded the panel nicely and cut out 11 inch. No, I cut 10 inch right there. 10. Is this 10 also? Yep, 10. And this one is 11. 10, 10, and 11 inch pieces. Don't ask me. Yeah, really? I did that? I did. I should have put the 11 in the middle. I think that's what it was supposed to be. 11 was supposed to be in the middle. So, an 11 and 2 10s. Then you can just do whatever you want. You can use full-length jelly roll strips for this. Then 2.5 inch with a 3.5 inch in the center. We're going to make sure. Yes, 1, 2, 3 inch, 2.5. See, look at this. I can't even tell you guys anything because I'm screwing it all up. 2.5, 2.5, 3. 3 inch and 2.5. 3 inch, 2.5. Then 2.5 all the way around. And then the last one is 2 1/4 because I measured that when I was sitting down. Because I didn't have enough of this fabric. All this was scraps. The white was scraps from something else. This was scraps from something else. So on and so forth. For a totaling quilt of measurementness. Like I said, it's just a lap. 49.5. By the length of this plus 3 inches. Because this is out. So
Why don't you just let me do it? Drill tape measure instead of your toy.
my toy tape measures for sitting.
Stop
My little
using the toy.
49.5.
Okay, I'll give you that. I can do it. I'm a big boy. I don't need your toes. 62.5.
49.5 by 62.5. So I probably meant to put the 11 right here, obviously, but this was scraps. I was having fun. They don't really, when I split it, it doesn't even match up all the way because I saw one area. Those are cut sizes. I have a bad habit of not giving you guys a finished size. So it should be, if it was cut at 10, it should be 9.5 inches right here. Yep, 9.5 inches in here. And this should be 10.5 inches. So the cut size is 11, 10, and 10. I was just playing with scraps. No one ever said it needed to be perfect. Like I said, it doesn't even, I don't even remember. I saw it when I was long arm quilting it on live stream. I think it's somewhere right here. Yeah, right there.
Video?
No, this was not done on video. I just long arm quilted it on video.
Well, then you're going to have to do another one.
I'm going to have to do another one. The next one, I'll just do the same thing, but with a jelly roll for you guys. I always have so much time on my hand to film videos for you guys. But, oh, another announcement. When it comes to videos.
Okay, real quick before you do that, you don't sit directly in front of your machine. I was always so told to sit directly in front of the machine.
I do not sit directly in front of the machine. I usually sit about right here. So I'm kind of to the side of it. If I was sitting directly in front of it, I'd be right here. But my eyesight sees better right here. My knee lift also helps me better right here, like to the side of it. And there have been instances on live stream when I'm standing, I'm usually more this way. But I have done, I'll just do it right now because I can. I have actually sewed while on live stream from right here. Not even in front of the machine at all because I know how to do that. Of course, I can't use the knee lift from way over here, but I can stitch and I can see everything I'm doing. You know, I can cut the thread, lift it, pull it out. I could do that on live stream. And with the seam guide, having a seam guide, that's even better because guess what? You'll have a straight seam.
What type of rulers are your green ones?
My green rulers are Missouri Star Quilt Company rulers. Missouri Star Quilt Company, 5 inches by 15 inches. Missouri Star Quilt Company, 2.5 inches by 8 inches. Yeah, 8. I have 2 of these. One is in my other room, and then I don't have 2 of these, but yeah, because I ordered one, got one, and then another one came in the mail. So, but yeah, I have rulers for everything from everywhere. But these are just my desk rulers. They're allowed to fall on the floor and get half broken, and they have chipped edges that are sharp. They're my, I can trash them rulers. The rest of my rulers I try to keep in pristine condition.
Does it make your back hurt more to sit at an angle?
It makes my back hurt more to just sit, period. I don't really like to sit anymore. I prefer to stand. Like, I don't like to sit and do anything anymore. But I have a special chair thing. So I have this for back, for my lower back, because my lower back really sinks in bad. So this is trying to push it out. And then I have this lovely chair that Scott has bought me. You can find them at Cushion Lab or on Walmart.com, which is cheaper. And it literally is a gel foam pad. It has this lip. So this is for the front part where your legs come out. And this is to keep your tailbone from sitting and putting pressure on your tailbone. Because mine is still messed up. But I had my MRI. No, I didn't have my MRI. I was approved for the MRI. I need to have the MRI now.
They just have not scheduled it.
They just haven't scheduled it yet. So as soon as I get that MRI, I'll know what's going on with my butake.
Well, the problem is now your 5-month wait of an appointment is 2 weeks away, and you still haven't had the MRI.
I still haven't had the MRI, and I waited 5.5 months to get into this doctor, and it's almost time to go to this doctor. It's a month away. Yeah. So, anyways, but yeah.
It's 2 weeks away.
It's 2 weeks away.
Not a month. 2 weeks. You see him.
Yep, in 2 weeks.
He's not going to see you.
Yep, and without the MRI, he won't see me, and I'll have to wait another 5 months to get in. I hate our medical system. America's medical system is so screwed up. So screwed up. Anyway, all right. Announcements. Other than your use code TIFF10, all capitals, at Fat Tuesday Fabrics to get 10% off of your total purchase between now and the May the 4th be with you. The first week, the first Sunday is coming soon of May, which would be the 4th. May the 4th be with you.
Yes, that's Sunday.
So Sunday, May 4th is when we are starting the double wedding ring. So for those that are going to buy whatever pattern or use whatever templates you purchase, again, I'm going to remind you one more time because it's next Sunday, right? Yeah, May the 4th is next Sunday.
Yes.
We start next Sunday. I am using the Omnigrid template. It's stuck in there. An Omnigrid template set. It's a rotary cutting set, and it has all the stuff in how to use it and so on and so forth is all inside this lovely book. You won't find this book specifically anywhere unless you find it at a used store with the templates. Just letting you know. They don't sell it brand new anymore. This one's from like 2001. Oh, 1988. Yeah, you're not finding this book. But yeah, they're templates that look like this. So here's the main part, which would be this section right here. And then you can either piece. This one has both options. You can piece all the little rings, all the little ring pieces, or you can make straight pieces where it's just one unit and then cut it out. So there's 2 different ones for that, 3 different ones for that, sorry. And then the template that goes in the middle of these to create the rings. So I will read my book between now and next weekend because that's when I'm starting. And we will all learn how to do this, and we will do the double wedding ring. I know for those of you who like new videos all the time, we are actually going to do it every Sunday until it's done. I will work off camera and on camera until we complete it because this is going to take a while. This is curved piecing. It's more in the advanced quilter mode. So somebody who really knows to try this. This is everything about it is pieced curved. So just know it's an advanced thing. So we're going to do it until it's done. And then you'll see my colorway next week when we start of all the stuff I've chosen to make my quilt with. Like I said, it's in a little short video. You just have to guess which one it is. All right. What else did I have? I don't know. I'm pretty sure you could probably get a double wedding ring pattern online, like a PDF, and then print paper templates. Paper templates are hard to work with, but there's so many different ones. My goal with you guys, because we're not all using the same template set, my goal with all of you is pretty much the general idea of piecing the double wedding ring. So we're all going to be working on the same thing with almost the same templates of almost the same size blocks. I don't even know what size mine are going to be. They're almost going to be the same. The goal is how to, and we learn to do this together. Because remember, this is my first time too. I've never made one before. This is our first time. We're learning together how to do this, and we're gonna advance through it. We're gonna do it. You'll all be able to do it with me.
What fabrics will you be using?
My fabrics that I will be using, you will find out next week, because all the cutting and everything is all going to be done during live stream.
Well, plus you had a little short showing fabric.
Plus I have a little short that shows fabrics, and you just have to guess what fabrics are in that little short of what I am doing, what I'm going to be using. Could be your guess, but it's kind of obvious. Anyways, let's see. So excited. Yes, I'm excited to start the double wedding ring too. It's not just you guys. I have been waiting to do this quilt and all the, well, I wouldn't say 9 years ago when I first started that it was on my mind, but let's just say like 7 years ago, it's like, yeah, I could do that. And then I ended up making the, what is it called? The star, the Mariner Compass Star quilt. I made that, and I was like, oh, if I could do this, I could do a double wedding ring. And then it just never happened. And then again, another year went by, and it never happened. And I kept these literally sit on a shelf near me. Notice it was easy to grab. Kept saying, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And then, well, you know, now I'm finally doing it. It looks like we got someone that's going to be EPPing it. Doing a king size. I don't even know how big I'm going because I don't even know how big these templates are for what size block. Like I said, I haven't even read the book. I mean, I skimmed through it, but we'll skim through it really quickly. Like, I don't even know how to know how big the block is because it's a circle. Practice, practice, practice. It actually tells you to practice in here. It doesn't say. I'm looking quickly. Stiletto pressing. All right, let's see. What does it say? It's telling you how to cut it, the fabric, how to get the center for cutting the thingamabobbers. Sorry if you guys can hear that vibration and bumping sound. Sometimes the camera picks it up. Here's a guess. Let's just lay this right here. This is how you figure out how big something is going to be. I'm just going to lay it right here and pretend that we have pieced it together. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, if there's one on this side with the circly thing on that side, like this. Yeah, I'm making like a 15 or so inch.
That flower dash?
tag must be up there. Flower Dash, yeah. I think this is going to be like a 16-inch block. Just by laying these pieces out right here. Yeah, to get the discount code at Fat Tuesday Fabrics, you need to put capitalized TIFF10 to get 10% off.
One lady said it's not working, so I told her to message the boutique lady on the site. Maybe it's sale items are not eligible.
Yeah, maybe sale items are not eligible. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not getting into that.
I don't know how that stuff works with the codes. Sorry, guys. I just get them and I give them to you guys. I'm glad that she was able to offer it to you guys. So if I made this one right here, it makes an 89 by 100 inch quilt. It tells me how much fabric I need and which ones I make. I really like this Renaissance one, because Renaissance Romance, because it has two different fabrics in that center, like this. Like that would be so much fun. So I'll choose which one I'm going to do. I might just do traditional. There's one that's 79 by 90. I'm also not doing scalloped edges. I'm going to square mine off, and we will figure that out when the time comes.
How much fabric do you need for the double wedding ring?
How much fabric? Well, if I was to make a 47 1/4 inch one, I don't know how much it needs. It doesn't say. They all say different things. In the beginning, it said for this one quilt, if I did this one right here, it says I need 4 yards for background and melons, 4 yards for backgrounds and melons. So that's 8 yards now, because it's 2 different colors. 3 yards of connecting corners and binding, 5.5 yards of seamless arcs, and 8 yards of backing. So it really needs a lot. You got to find whatever pattern you're using along with me, because we're all doing something different, like I said. I know a few of you have messaged me already and said you had this exact pattern book, but I also have another set. I don't know where it's at. It's over there. And it's a totally different brand, and they're smaller.
Do you know which style you're going to make?
I don't know. I'm going to choose through the book. I'm going to probably, I really, really, really like that romantic one. Let me reopen it to that page and hold it up close. Renaissance Romance is the one I really want to do, but I don't want to do the solid arcs. I want to do pieced. So I want, this one is solid fabrics and the arcs. I want mine to be pieced fabrics, no matter what, on all my rings. I want all those to be pieced. So, and then the melon would be the same color on all this, it looks like, and it just looks like the centers of them are the only thing that changes and alternates directions. But I really like this style. Like, that's the one I have gone to every time I've opened this book, is that one. But I'm not going to do full arcs. I want pieced arcs. So technically, I would just be doing a scrap double. So it'll probably end up being this guy right here. Just a regular scrap double. It even says it right here on here. Seamless arcs, scrap doubles, Renaissance Romance, and planned double wedding ring. Yep, so I'm just going to do what I have seen videos and know how to do. Because I, like you guys, do watch videos too. But I haven't in a long time on a double wedding ring. So I will make sure I look through all this before I start, and make sure you guys look through yours too as well, just to make sure that you get a general idea of what we're doing. But I'm pretty much just going to help walk you guys through everything, and myself.
Where do you get a wedding ring pattern?
Where do you get a wedding ring pattern? You can buy a double wedding ring pattern online. There are books. Let me see. Hold on. I can tell you right now. I think I have a book on double wedding rings. Hold on. 2 seconds. Should be like Twist, Amazing, Better Homes, Heirloom, Quilting, Sheen, New York Beauty book. That's my next one. New York Beauty, my guys, my friends.
QBPN have them?
QBPN had them, yes.
Okay, well, tell them I'm putting the link in.
Scott's putting a link to QBPN. somewhere right here. Somewhere quick and easy. Samples, borders, no sews, heritage, heirloom. No, that one doesn't have it. I don't know. One of these books has double wedding rings in it. So just look online. You guys will find a pattern. All right. You have a whole week to find it. And even then, the videos will always be there.
Yeah, I put in the QBPN. I think there was 3 on there, weren't they? I'm not sure.
QBPN? No. No. Online, probably, even if you Google it, double wedding ring pattern, if you Google it, you might get a free pattern.
QBPN will have
QBPN will have something, though. Templates and all, most likely. Probably not exactly what I'm using, but it will. Anyways, one more time before I get going here, guys. Don't forget Fat Tuesday Fabrics, the wonderful people who sent me all this if you weren't on. Some beautiful fabrics. If you go to Fat Tuesday Fabrics, which will be linked right there in the chat, and it's in the description below, you'll type in buy your things you want, and at the end it says enter coupon code, type in TIFF10, all one word capitalized, TIFF10, and you'll get 10% off of your total purchase. I mean, come on, guys, really? Seriously? 5-inch strips, 5-inch squares by the roll. I mean, you really got to check it out. And then my Etsy shop is also still 20 to 30% off. This is by mouth only. So if you have a friend or family member that likes a quilt on my page and they want to buy it, tell them to contact us directly to get 20 to 30% off of your purchase of a quilt, because I need to get rid of those quilts, my friends. I need to get rid of them to support my Tiffany's Quilting Life endeavor here. That way I can make more, because I haven't been able to quilt any of those quilts because I have no room for the new ones. Yeah, so I need to make room. Alrighty. Is that it? No more questions?
Yeah, you tell me your video is coming out Tuesday.
And then, oh yes, Tuesday, there's going to be a new video and you guys are going to love it. And then that's it.
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
And then breakfast at Tiffany's is this Thursday, the whatever date, Thursday, the 1st at 8 a.m. Arizona time. So don't forget, I don't even know what I'm doing for breakfast at Tiffany's.
We'll figure it out.
I will figure it out between now and then, because I have so many things going on at once. So anyways, love y'all. I will see you in my next video. Bye.